Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Linda Bicchetti, your platform assistant for the day, with our guest minister, Angelika Schafer, today. Welcome. And welcome to everybody on YouTube. We welcome your presence and bless you for joining us. Oh, this is all interesting. We've changed a little bit. I have to keep remembering that. Well, I wish first to welcome people to this special place today and to start with the lighting of the Christ candle. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us, the creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine, expressing in all our giftedness and our creativity. We acknowledge this presence in our companion, Mother Earth, and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of that Christ's presence expressing in, as, and through us in this present now moment. It is the truth. Let us own it. And Angelika is going to lead us in our first song. Please stand.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. Let's sing we. We are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful, we are so blessed. One more time. And we're especially grateful for each other, for being able to gather here together in this moment. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. It feels really good to sing those words, to speak those words. And even when I don't quite feel that grateful in the moment, I try to speak these words or sing them or make up a song or to keep the mind directed there to gratitude.
And we are going to pray for those on our pray list today. Do we have it up? Barbara and John, Lacey Henning, Matthew Scott, Sharon Watson, Greg, Angela, and Joe Pomarino, Ron and Vanessa Stewart, Rachel Swan, Mark Cloffer, Linda Berkmeyer, Frank Potts, Melody Jewell, Pam Harper Ignatieff, Charlie and Will McBride, Mary Lynn Peters, Amy and Todd Woodbury, Mike Simpson, Mariah, Julie Bramkoff, Cynthia Trexler, Geraldine Wood, Dorothy Wheeler, Rick Bayman, Jasmine Lindstrom, Thelma Carell, Teresa Rosenthal, Robin and Steve Nola, for the passing of Maxine O'Haver, Judy Sosnowski's mother, and prayers for peace in the Ukraine and elsewhere in the world wherever there is conflict. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful daily word. I love this one. Let go, let God. I bless myself when I let go and let God. Please say that with me. I bless myself when I let go and let God. If I find myself ruminating over a concern or a weighty decision, I release its grip on my attention by letting go and letting God. When I let go, I am placing my trust in divine mind, the source of infinite potential. I believe there are solutions and remedies of which my limited human mind simply cannot conceive. When I let go, I am trusting the grace of God will bless my life in the most wondrous and even surprising ways. Letting go and letting God is how I live my faith. I surrender to spiritual truth, the presence and power of God, and believe the best outcome is going to be so much better than anything I can imagine. I affirm, I let go and let God and relax into knowing I am deeply loved and abundantly blessed. And from John chapter 14, verse 1, do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me.
So I will lead us in a few minutes of invocation. So just relax and enjoy the moment. Let's settle in a little deeper and relax a little bit more with each breath. And put a slight smile on your face. Take a deep breath again. And just notice what is there. Perhaps thoughts floating through the sky of the mind, kind of like clouds. Perhaps sensations in the body. We are not evaluating anything, not needing anything to be different. Simply here with what is. And in that relaxation, we have the opportunity to be more present, to open more to the greater reality of our being, our essence. This exploration is for those who are interested in embracing the pain and joy of life fully, the tragedy and the comedy of it, the absurdity and the sanctity of life in each and every moment. Stress and suffering is the tension between this moment and our mental image of how this moment should be. Let us turn to face how things are instead, and welcome all feelings, even the darkest ones, as our beloved inner children, waves of this oceanic heart, astonishing expressions of the divine. And what are you feeling right now? And if it is not your favorite state, simply say, "Sweetheart, it's okay." And then watch your breathing and your feelings and the sensations. Just curious. No story about it. Nothing else needs to be done. Just feeling and breathing. Do this until life takes you back to your center. Acceptance is letting everything come. Forgiveness is letting everything go. Love is letting everything be. Wisdom is letting all things arise, flourish, and release naturally. Awareness is restful attentiveness. And without changing this state of presence, when you're ready, you can come back to this room. We got to do things in the right order after all, right? So I composed, or I shouldn't say composed, I received a new song, and it was for Trails and Vistas, a beautiful event outside where people hike and meet different artists. And it's a combination of a Celtic blessing, Irish blessing, and a Rumi poem. And you probably will recognize these words, but I just put them together in a certain way and added a few of my own. And this is what I wish for you. May the road rise up to meet you. May the winds be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall softly on your fields until we meet again. May you be held in love's embrace. Beyond ideas of right and wrong, there is a field. I meet you there. When the soul lies gently in that grass, the world's too full to talk about until we meet again. May you be bathed in peace like that. Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings live in peace. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings live in peace. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rains fall softly on your fields until we meet again. May you be bathed in love's embrace. So let's do the official meditation now. So as we have done before, there are a few elements to enhance the meditation and to have a deeper experience. And these are ancient yogic techniques as well as modern neuroscience. And gestures are very powerful. So I'll teach you a few. Some of you already know it if you were here last time. So this is a self-hug. And it feels very, very soothing. So just put one arm more vertically towards your throat and the upper heart, the high heart, and the other arm around it. And just kind of feel the effect of that gesture. And the other gesture is a smile that engages so many muscles. It's amazing what it does neurologically. And another one is humming. Humming in a way that the lips vibrate, and it connects us to that consciousness of the bees. They are in this beautiful collective connection. And another gesture that I love is, I call it hara, and it's just bringing in power of source into your center through your central channel, and the other hand into the earth. So you're aligning yourself with the power of the universe and the earth, and you're making that connection, because we are that meeting ground where all those energies meet and express. And feel free to make any other gestures that come naturally. I call them body prayer. So let's close our eyes and settle in a little bit more. Just watching the breath, making it more slow and deep. And let's take this opportunity by relaxing into things to come to a deeper level of acceptance. With ourselves, with others, this life, and perhaps even the world the way it is, to release any blame for this being that has journeyed so courageously through life to arrive here now. And let's just rest for a moment in the spaciousness of our being. It's so vast. Just to take the time to experience the vastness of our beingness is so precious and so needed right here. You find yourself in a field of infinite possibilities, not confined, not defined, just pure awareness, sensing this expanded state of being. Just relax deeply into that. All is welcome. And taking another deep breath together and humming on the exhale. And remember that smile. Breathing fully present. Feel how this affects your nervous system and how it may open up you more inner dimensions. So allowing our ocean-like nature to open more, to connect more with that, beyond the habitual ways that we usually experience life. And in that nature, all waves on the surface are welcome, included. But we are no longer tossed about by those waves. You are an incredible being to take such a difficult journey and wonderful journey in this dimension of perceived limitations, to demonstrate the journey back to the light, to forgive when it is not easy, to help clear the collective mind of errors, to do the work of the divine. Just by being here. We are the sacred meeting ground of matter and spirit, human and divine. Just relaxing deeply with that. Deep breath, a smile. Maybe hugging yourself. What if you knew for sure that you are accomplishing what you came here for? That you are safe and sovereign and nothing happens out of order? That truly everything is here to help you with no exception? What if you can experience divine connection and joy, inner peace and freedom, anytime you really want and choose, regardless of your situation or emotional experience? What if you cannot fail or be left behind? What if you can realize and live informed by your true luminous nature, right here, right now, releasing old limiting ideas? Taking another deep breath in and humming together. And smiling. Just notice what is here, what is present right now. Take your time, and when you are ready, remaining in that state of relaxation, you can gently open your eyes and come back to this room. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. So when I was choosing the theme of what is suffering, what are the causes of suffering, I found it's such a vast subject, and it's pretty deep and fascinating, because all human beings that I know, at least, suffer in some way. And nobody usually questions it. We just kind of take it for granted that that's a part of human life. So let's together explore that a little bit. And actually, I have practiced it. I was very masterful at suffering. And I came from a long lineage of suffering through wars and all kinds of strange experiences on earth. But I tell you a secret, I was able recently to give it up. Maybe not entirely all the time, but most of the time. And that's huge. So I want to share some of those secrets with you. And one thing that I have learned is that suffering is not in the fact. It's not in the circumstances, ever. It is always in how we interpret the circumstances and what meanings we give them. So Jeff Foster says, heaven is in this moment. Hell is longing for this moment to be different. It's that simple. So let's contemplate for a minute of what do we really want? What does everybody here on earth really want? I was once asked that question by a great master in India, and I was so I just couldn't spit it out. There were so many thoughts in my head. What do I really want, If you met that genie in the bottle, what wish would you have? And I find it's really simple. We really want to feel pleasant and good, within and without. That's it. We just want to feel good. But the mind has so many strategies of what it needs to, what we need to accomplish, feeling good. So we do so many things for that aim. Probably everything is motivated by that. And there is nothing wrong with feeling pleasant within and without. So Jeff Foster says in his book, Falling in Love with Where You Are, letting go of the image of all you think you know, how life should be, sinking into the vast mystery of the present moment, embracing change and loss as misunderstood friends, falling in love with where you are. This is the path for those who know there is no path, only endless destinations and never-ending beginnings. The contradiction, the sense of limitation, is not my enemy, but is actually reminding me of what I am naturally, vast and spacious, unlimited, unchanging, and ever-present. It is my inherent limitlessness that allows the sense of limitation. It is my natural relaxation that allows a sense of contraction. I am not dependent on anything outer for present moment peace. I am already whole now. So we could stop right here and just memorize that, just really take it in. That kind of sums it all up. It's our inherent limitlessness that allows a sense of limitation. And what if we actually came into this life to explore limitation? What if that was the purpose? Out of infinite, forever, endless, eternal limitlessness, we came to Earth to explore what limitations would be like. What if we just were that frivolous? We probably were. And so in a way there is nothing wrong with exploring whatever Earth's life brings for us. It's actually the very purpose we're here. And there is all eternity to get back to limitlessness. Let's not sweat it, Just say, like on a very scary theme park ride, you say, Yahoo! You close your eyes sometimes. And then you pay money for that, right? So, by the way, can everybody hear me okay? Is the sound okay? All right. So why do we suffer? And the secret is the mind. In a way, we don't live life from our true natural state. We really live life through the filters of the mind. And what is mind? It's a construct of different things from the past, conditioning, from ideas about ourselves, things we've learned, even emotions we've learned from those that raised us. Everything is learned and habituated, and so it becomes this artificial construct of a sense of self, a sense of I, some kind of sense of who I am. And then we defend that with all our might. And when things are not the way that this I thinks it should be, we usually have a story, an interpretation. Maybe I'm not good enough. I didn't do it right. Whatever. And that creates the suffering. That creates a tension inside where we contract and where we're no longer able to be in touch with our true nature. And they say that our true nature is total blissfulness and ecstasy. And that's why human beings are trying to get back to it so desperately. That's why we take drugs and alcohol and all kinds of things to get back to that ecstasy of our natural state. We're desperate because somehow there's something in the way of that now, that we live as this construct of the mind, what the mind thinks. And so it seems to be a really fascinating work, inner work, to come back to our true nature, naturally, without drugs, without too many outer substances. Just, we have that ability right in here. And it just takes a bit of willingness and inner work to shift those old patterns. So one of the reasons we suffer is sort of a survival habit that ancient man has taken on. It's to survive, we had to remember the one poisonous plant of thousands of edible ones and really pay attention to that one that was harmful. And we're still doing it. We're emphasizing the things that are wrong in life or dangerous or uncomfortable, and we kind of ignore so many things that are wonderful and work. And so the mind is a bit negativity biased, and that's one of the obstacles to being free and natural. And then there are hidden programs, and it's really good to recognize them and become aware. For example, when a child is abused, and on planet trauma, most people were abused in some way or other, but especially if there was physical abuse, a child associates that with the pain was punishment. And so when there is a sensation of pain, like a pinch or a bruise or a cut or something, when you're conditioned in that way, that you were punished through physical violence, then of course you would associate that with punishment. And so the child doesn't know that that was not the child's fault. That was a program that the parents passed on from their parents, and on and on and on. So we have to kind of watch for these patterns and associations, because there's a difference between pain, which is simply a sensation. And of course, yes, we don't want to touch a hot stove and move away from it. But if the sensation of pain doesn't have a story attached to it, then there is no suffering. The suffering is in the story that we make out of it. And then let's look at, why do we suffer in relationships? One of my teachers always said, life is relationship. Everything is relationship. Everything is interconnected, relating. We're relating with the chair we're sitting on. We're relating with each other. We're relating with the air, breathing it in, breathing it out. We're relating with the earth, with the heaven, everything. And so, but in inter-human relationship, we often suffer because there is expectation of the other person to make us happy or to make us fulfilled. And I used to do that a lot. I searched for happiness by finding a partner that would make me happy. That was the fairy tale, right, that we grew up with. Live happily ever after. Find the right person. Well, that didn't work out too well. And it just never really can fulfill the need for love. That needs to come first from within. But in relationship, to end suffering, we're all imperfect, we're all running programs, we're all doing the best we can. But once we start focusing on the faults of the other and what is negative, it starts to go south. So really the trick is to take 100% responsibility for your own happiness, for your own well-being, your own wholeness, your own fulfillment, your own satisfaction, and to see the other person in your life as a bonus. They're a bonus either way, even if they trigger you and do difficult things, or things that are difficult for you, they show you different aspects where you can forgive, where you can learn maybe more patience, more tolerance, more love, greater love. And all the wonderful things they do, that's a wonderful bonus. So either way, it's a bonus. But we are 100% responsible for our well-being. And that will not change. So that's relationship. And what about the state of the world? Now, I have a big one. I came from a background of war, World War II. My parents were in the war. I was raised with PTSD, with all that terror. I used to have nightmares as a child. And when there is this filter, it's a filter with which I see the world, like, oh, it's not safe, it's not a safe place. There might be a bomb, there might be a fire, there might be whatever. So there was a hypervigilance, and I had to work with that very consciously, because I became aware enough, spiritually and emotionally and psychologically, which is all one thing really, that these filters were in the way of experiencing the world directly as it is. It's quite a magical place. And yes, there are things to worry about, but I always go, okay, can I do something about this right now? No. If I can't, then I go in and I try to change my own state. Because if we are in a state of inner coherence and inner peace, we can do more good for this world, which is our collective projection, our collective experience, than you could going up on the stage and screaming of what's not right here. So it always seems to be coming back to our own self. And just like a house needs cleaning all the time, we need to clean our mind, our thoughts. And that takes awareness. and the awareness is absolutely important. So just making up our mind that we'll just watch in a relaxed way what thoughts, what programs are running, because if we always do it habitually, nothing will change. If we do the same thing, think the same thoughts, have the same feelings in life, nothing will ever change. So it has to come from here. And if we want the world to change, we'll need to change it in here. And I became much more peaceful, and life has a different quality for me now when I finally gave the world permission to be as it is, to go through whatever the world needs to go through. I do not know. But I do know that I contribute by raising my own frequency, by raising my own consciousness, doing what I can, of course, on the outer to serve, to make it better if I can. But if I sat here in worry and stress and fear, I would not do it any good. And I wouldn't do myself any good, or you. And I care about you very much. I very much love to be here and love to be in joy and celebrate life instead of fearing it. So that's why I said I've given it up. You know, it still tries to creep back. It's very strong, this thing here. But I keep saying, no, we're not going there. We're doing something different. And some days it's difficult. It seems like it's an uphill battle. That's okay. Take a nap. Take care of yourself. But keep getting back up on that horse. You are the boss. Your higher consciousness is the boss. You determine what you want to think, how you want to relate to life, to yourself. So that's the other thing. I should have probably started there first. We suffer in ourselves because we believed all the messages that we have received from day one, probably, from parents that had received them too, that we are somehow not good enough, right? Somehow we're lacking. We're having this fault and that shortcoming and that. You know what? Let's just make a intention right now to let all that go. We don't need it anymore. And I know those angel beings, masters, guides, they know how difficult it is for us right now on earth. So anyone who has a little spark of motivation and intention to help and serve here on this planet, it's all forgiven. Trust me, I got it straight from source. It's all forgiven. Don't sweat the small stuff. Let go of self-blame. Let go of any kind of thought that you are at fault or that you are not good enough. It's enough, done. Are you in? Yes. All right, I want to see everyone's hand. Are you willing to let this go? Good. Okay, I'll check with you. So, some of you I'll check with personally. And we just need to remember and lovingly remind each other when we're back in those old programs. We are free now, and we are on a whole new page. Nobody knows how it's going to unfold, but I can say one thing, that we are helping to determine how this is going to unfold. Each and every one of us. So do not feel powerless. Do not feel small. Because you aren't. You really aren't. So, wow. So there is a movie, just to deepen my point. It's an older one. It's called Life is Beautiful. And it's about this family in World War II. They were separated, and the father and the boy, the little boy, were put in a concentration camp. And even in those circumstances, the father was able to teach his little boy that life is beautiful. He made it into a game. He pointed out all the wonderful things. And they stayed in a high vibration, even in those horrible circumstances. And then let's look at Yeshua, talk about pain and torture. Really severe. And still he was able to say, forgive, they don't know what they're doing. But he also made the point, when I am that surrendered to life, Father's will be done. When I am that surrendered to life, to be with every horrible thing that might come my way fully, without resistance, something magical happens. He proved a few days after there is no death. All of that vanishes. All that fear, all that suffering, all that pain vanishes when we give ourselves fully to it. And it seems counterintuitive because we all run away. But what does that take to be able to do that? It takes direct, powerful connection to Source. Let's just connect for a moment. The gesture is to remind us, is to bring us into that energy, into that center. Yeah, there, you can feel it. Beautiful, yeah. So, we have to cultivate that connection, because somewhere along the way we got sidetracked with all kinds of pain and suffering. But the Source is always here, it never goes away. So Gangaji said, we have tried everything to get rid of suffering. We have gone everywhere to get rid of suffering. We have bought everything to get rid of it. We have ingested everything to get rid of it. Finally, when one has tried enough, there arises the possibility of spiritual maturity. With the willingness to stop the futile attempt to get rid of it, and instead to actually experience suffering. In that momentous instant, there is the realization of that which is beyond suffering, of that which is untouched by suffering. There is the realization of who one truly is. The willingness to suffer fully, even for an instant, without trying to escape or be safe, means that suffering is no longer an obstacle to the full surrender into the mystery of existence. That is such a powerful message. The willingness to suffer fully, even for an instant, without trying to escape or be safe, means that suffering is no longer an obstacle to the full surrender into the mystery of existence. And Yeshua demonstrated that so fully. So our most important job here on earth is to set the mind right, to simply refuse to keep living the old programs. It seems impossible at times, but it is not. It just takes the willingness to do the work every moment of the day, awareness and grace. We just have to show up and be willing, and willing to even see it, see what's going on, and then say, help me, your higher power, your higher self, your divine, your holy will come in and do the rest. We can't do it on our own. It's not possible. We're too steeped in the programming. Some people call it the matrix. So since all the suffering and difficulties are in the mind, what is needed is that awareness, mindfulness, constant, consistent, patient, kind, wise, loving correction. Correction of our own mental processes. The choice for love instead of fear. Consistent reminders of what is true. Mind needs ongoing, patient cleaning, just like the house or our bodies. We take showers, we clean the cars, the houses. The mind needs it more than anything in our life. Cleaning. Cleaning of all its false ideas. And simply making a very powerful, in Sanskrit you call it sankalpa, a very powerful intention to not live the life of the mind. And then for a moment, let's just together invoke the grace, the power of the divine, of this universe, to help us with that intention. To make it so, number one, to allow it to change us, to shift us out of that prison of suffering, into true freedom. Because the time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. Happiness is permanent. It's always there. What comes and goes is unhappiness. And you might call it peace instead of happiness. I like to call it natural state, our natural state. And I want to end with a quote from Nisargadatta Maharaj, a great Indian sage. He said, once you realize that the road is the goal and that you are always on the road, not to reach a goal, but to enjoy its beauty and its wisdom, life ceases to be a task and becomes natural and simple, in itself an ecstasy. Life ceases to be a task and becomes natural and simple, in itself an ecstasy. Just the way it is. When we don't live through the life of the mind, each moment truly is magical. Each moment, it's very precious to be here with you. Time flies. It seems like just yesterday, some months ago I was here. And so each moment only comes once. So this moment together right now is unique and precious. So let's celebrate that in our hearts. Let's do one more deep breath in and a hug and a hum to connect like the bees. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelika. Oh, that was very powerful.
I never know what comes out, actually. I make notes and prepare, but then I have to let them go and be present here and let it flow through. And it's a very interesting exercise in trust that I learned over the years through the music, and now I can do it speaking as well.
Thank you. I was reminded just a minute ago in my brain, speaking of being in our minds, that I forgot to welcome all our newcomers, and I'd like to do that now. So if you are new to Unity for the very first time, could you raise your hand? Sandy is our chaplain today, and will provide you with a welcome packet. And on it is a red ribbon, which we would love to have you put on your shirt, your blouse, your vest, and at coffee afterwards to welcome you individually from each of us. And Sandy will be available for prayer after the service, individual prayer if people would like, in the chapel, which is out the doors to your left and then left again, and you will see her there. And also in the packet there is a information sheet that allows you also to receive a free CD of the service if you'd like at the bookstore after services and after the CDs have been printed or whatever they call recorded, I guess. So now we come to our love offering, and I'd like you all, those of you who are giving with others, to hold your love offerings together. And as we say our love offering together, my heart is open to receive and grateful for all my good I give fearlessly and with love. And now Angelika will provide us with more music.
I will share with you a song called All Is Found. It's from the movie Frozen 2, and it's quite a mystical song. And the river that the song is talking about, I feel, is like the river of life. Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memory. Sleep, my darling, safe and sound, for in this river all is found. All is found. When all is lost, then all is found. In her waters, deep and true, lie the answers and a path for you. Dive down deep into her sound, but keep your feet on sacred ground. She will sing to those who hear, and in her song all magic flows. Can you brave what you most fear? Can you face what the river knows? Until the river's finally crossed, you'll never feel the solid ground. You had to get a little lost on your way to being found. Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a mother full of memory. Come, my darling, homeward bound, where all is lost, then all is found. All is found. All is found. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we come to our announcements. I'll try and make them as brief as possible since we're tight on time, as Angelika reminded me this morning. First off, the Jetta Molly is coming. Please remember, she is going to be here, Cultivating Collective Intelligence, which will be a 2-day Jetta Molly workshop, October 15th and 16th. There will be a free evening Friday, the 14th of October, and everything is also in the e-bulletin. And also remind you that there is meditation daily on Zoom until the event in October to help prepare for her presence and teaching. And it will be changed each Monday. That's also on your all Zoom access and e-bulletin. We also have Inspiring Women. We have 2 meetups to announce for August, excuse me. Toffanelli's Anybody interested in going to Toffanelli's on August 14th? We will be putting together a group, and we will need reservations. So if people can either see me after service or call, I think I have most people's phone numbers, but I'm not positive, so feel free to talk to me after service about it. Or you can contact the office, and Leslie will pass the info on to me. August 27th is a pool party for inspiring women at Catherine's house, Catherine Beatty's house. She's graciously offered that. Pool time starts at 10:30 a.m., although as hot as it's been, maybe 8:30 a.m. would be more appropriate. Potluck salad bar will be at 10:30. Or 12:30, I'm sorry. I'm hungry already. And a reminder, A Course in Miracles is continuing to meet on once-a-month basis, and they meet first Thursday of each month, 6:30 to 8. Next meeting is August 4th. If you have any questions, you can contact Lynn, and her number was up there on the board also. Dennis is here again for Lions Club, and you all know that means caramel corn, and he's doing the sign-ups. He's going to come up and talk just a moment about that.
Nice right there. So many of you in the congregation have been working with Gold Country Lions to sell caramel corn at the county fair. The county fair is August 10th through the 14th. Shifts are 4 hours. We provide your admission ticket, and we'll reimburse my no. I have Parkinson's disease, which is messing with me a lot. Anyway, if you would like to work a shift, I'll be at the back corner of the church to sign you up.
And you get all the caramel corn you can eat. Just saying. And Chris, you wanted to talk about the healing energy real quick?
Unity's energy healing clinics are back. So if any of you have experienced that in the past, you know how wonderful it is to come together with another spiritual being and just allow this energy of God to flow through you. So they will be held on the second Sunday afternoon each month. The next one coming up is Sunday, September 11th. There are sessions at 1, 2, and 3. My number's on the flyer. So if you would like to have a session, we have so many different healers. We have Reiki, we have healing touch. We have our beautiful Gabriel who does functional symmetry. You know Gabriel who plays the music. We have Anne-Marie who's doing spiritual readings, and I think we have one more. They're all listed on the flyer. So if you would like an energy healing session, do call now. Oh, we also have David Kyle doing his energy healing, and he comes from that Peruvian shamanism lineage. So it will be a wonderful day together with Spirit.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Thank you all for being here. We now come to the end of our service, and I'd ask you all to rise and join us in our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am. All is well. And now we have our closing song, I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. We choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us, let this be the one. We choose love. We choose love.
Goodbye to all our YouTube friends. Everybody turn and wave goodbye.
Blessings.
We love you. We miss you.